Daniel here, W5EKG. It's been a while since I posted a video. I moved, finally out in the country. I'm out of the city finally. My station's been down, been finally getting it up here, and don't have all my towers back up in the air, but I do have my satellite tower in. My other towers are up, I just don't have all my antennas up, my stacks up and everything. So weather was kind of crummy today. I couldn't get some tower work done on another tower because it was too windy. So I was messing around with my 9700, and I was putting SatPC32 on a different computer and realized that they had done an update and added the 9700 with the new update on the DK1TB website. There was a write-up by a VE4SW on the DK1TB website with pretty good instructions on how to do it, but I realized some people don't want to go through and read that, and some people are more visual, so decided to do a video. I did come across a hiccup or two whenever I was putting this on my computer. My other video, the computer I was on an older Windows 7, and I put this on a different computer that was running Windows 10, so I had to configure some different things because I hadn't ran SatPC32 or the 9700 on there, so I had to go do a fresh reinstall and all this stuff. So decided, hey, post a video, get everything up and go and post a video, and if anyone else is still having issues, maybe this will help them. So I know 9700 has been out for a while now, and surely there's probably not too many people having issues, but if there is, maybe this will help. But the instructions on the DK1TV website that VE4SW did are pretty good. So it's like 14 pages long, but it goes into installing drivers and the actual SatPC32 software itself and I'm just going to go into the Icom settings and SatPC32 software. This video is going to be the pretense that you have your Icom drivers already installed, SatPC32 installed, and all that. So this will be like my previous video. We're just going to go, straight here on the menu of your 9700. You're going to go to Set, and you're going to go up. If you're on page 1, you're going to go down to 2 connectors. If you're on page 1 of that, you're going to go down to page 3 to CIV. On the first page of CIV, you're going to want to set your CIV baud rate to 19,200. And then you're going to want to set your CIV address. The instructions, they said set your address to A2H. I set mine to 94 because I have other pieces of software that I installed before SatPC32 that are communicating under that are running with the address of 94. So I didn't want to have to backtrack and go through and have to change every single piece of software that's already working. So the instructions say that you can use another address if you need to, that it should work. So I used 94, configured it in SatPC32, and it did work. So you don't have to use the A2H or A2. You can change it, and it worked for me. So, but if for some reason it's not, default back to what the instructions say, try A2 and see if that works if you're having some kind of problems. Your CIV transceiver is going to be on. USB LAN remote, I don't use that, but I left that at 00. Page 2 is CIV, unlink from remote, and then your CIV USB baud rate is going to be set to 115,200, 115,200. CIV USB echo back is going to be set to on, and that's all of the settings on a 9700 that you have to set, and then you're good. So we're going to exit out of that, and we're going to go back. Well, go over here, SatPC32, scroll up. Alrighty, sorry for the angle. Tried using a different camera to do this video and I was having issues with it wanting to focus on the screen of the 9700, so I had to revert to this other one. I'll try to adjust this tripod a little bit, sorry. Okay. Now, as you can see, I've already had this running the whole time. But what I'm going to go ahead and do, well, for one, I'm going to go ahead and just turn cat control off. So in your top row of your bars, your tabs up here, it's SatPC32, if this will focus, there we go. You're going to have, it's got my old call sign registered. You're going to want to go to Setup, Radio Setup, and here is the window you're going to want to start with. So first you're going to want to set your radio as Icom, and then it's going to be set under model. You're going to want to click 9700, and then you're also going to want to check to make sure all these boxes here are unchecked except for satellite mode. So then the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to baud rate, and you're going to set that to the 115,200, 115,200. Now you're going to go to address. This is what can hang some people up. Is there's going to be a drop-down menu, and even if you go to the instructions and you use the A2 or A2H that it tells you to use, if you go down and click this drop-down menu, that A2 is not going to be in here. What you're going to have to do is you're going to have to use these arrows to find A2. See, I scrolled up from my 94 to A2, and then you're going to have to hit address OK, and then you have to hit store. But I'm not going to do that because my address is 94. Now I want to hit address OK. One problem is you can go through here and you can manually change this with your keyboard. Like so. But watch what happens. I hit store. Let me go up here to setup, radio setup, address. See, it went back to 94. You can't manually input it with your keyboard. You have to use these arrows and then hit store. Because if you just go in there and manually input it with your keyboard and then hit store, it's not going to save it. So you have to use these arrows and then hit store to save it. So just that little tip there may save some people some frustration, because I did that previously before I figured out, when I showed you on my previous videos, how you use these arrows to change that. And then, you know, hit address OK, store. Because if you don't do that, you're going to be pulling your hair out trying to figure out what in the world's going on. Okay, so then what you're going to do before you store, after you store that, save everything, you're going to want to go over here and check your COM port. Now here's one discrepancy that I found in their instructions versus my situation. I don't know why that is, but you're going to want to go into your device manager of your computer, and you're going to want to find where what COM ports that your 9700's on. So like mine, as you can see, I have 4, because I have my 9700 and my 7610 that are all on there. So the instructions on the site says to use, like my 9700 is COM port 12 and 13. So the instructions goes in to say use the lower of the two, because the lowest of the two is going to be your remote control and the higher is going to be your audio codec. Well, my situations is reversed. My lower, my COM 12 is audio codec, and my higher is my remote. Because whenever I initially went in and used their instructions, I was using COM port 12 and it wasn't communicating with my radio. And I was like, what in the world? I kept going through the instructions and rereading it, trying to figure out what was going on and why SatPC32 wasn't changing anything. And finally, I just changed the COM port to 13, stored, boom. It started communicating with the radio. So I don't know why mine's different. But so once you do all that, save your COM port, you're going to store it, okay. It's going to want you to restart SatPC32. Quit. Ooh, man, I need to clean my desktop up. And there you are. Mine's already set to whenever I start SatPC32, cat control automatically turns on. But if you don't configure yours that way, up here in the top left corner of the software, there's going to be your cat control on and off. You're going to want to turn that on to a plus sign and turn cat control on for it to control your rig. So let me down here back to, sorry about that, back to the 9700. Just the camera here. I think it's on my, let me get an FM bird. Fortunately, don't have any good passes going right now, so where I demonstrate so you can see there it is. There's which one did I click? Oop. So there's AO91. It's not anywhere close to a pass to me right now. I just clicked on it, but you can see it changed. Rig controls on, change bands, tones on. I do have it to go in there to make sure that it does have the sub-audible tone on, because a lot of the FM birds have sub-audible tone for getting in there to get your input tone. So, but that's it. The only hiccup like I said that I had with this was the COM port swap. Yeah, 9700 with the update on there. it is working. So my next project's going to be like I said, my rotor controller. I'm still using a Yaesu G5500 rotor, but I swapped all my rotor controllers out with green heron controllers. So I'm not using the stock G5500 controller anymore, the LVB tracker. But I got to figure out how to control that green heron controller with SatPC32. Because I used, for some reason, green heron put them on two separate USB outputs. So whereas like my LVB tracker was just one, it's just that. So, but that's it. Be doing some more videos as I get everything set up. Like I said, I don't have all my antennas up in the air, but got the 9700 in, and I do have my satellite array up. Here is a sneak peek of the shack. Like I said, pretty proud of it. Rack mounted everything, doing patch panels instead of switches. Got my VHF, UHF on my DMR, my 7610. I'm just using my receiver array right now because I've got my other antennas down. But I'll be doing some other cool videos once I get everything rocking and rolling. So, but I just want to do an update. Like I said, since I did get this put in and did kind of come across a hiccup on there, and was like, well, you know what, let's just post it and see if anybody else is still having problems. And that's about it. So hope to catch y'all more on the birds now. Now that she's back on the rack, and I do got some tower work to try to knock out this week, and there's a VHF contest coming up this weekend, so I really want to get my stack up in the air before this weekend. Phase 2 meter beams and my 1296 beam and that stuff, so I can try to get into the VHF contest. But other than that, like I said, shack's pretty much done. Just got to get the antennas back up in the air. Mother Nature just got to cooperate. So if y'all got any questions, just post them below, and hopefully this will help someone out. And thanks for watching. 7-3, it's Daniel W5EKG.